So I'm going to Taylor Meadows and Panorama Ridge on the weekend. So I'll be backpacking to Taylor Meadows and we'll be staying 2 nights over there. And this is going to be my first proper backpacking multi-day trip. So I wanted to share a few tips on everything that I've learned to prepare for this by watching other YouTubers. Based on doing like the initial research, some of the things that I've found are as follows. So the first thing is, the more lightweight you want to go, the more expensive your trip becomes. People often says don't carry like more than 40 pounds of backpack, but that's bullshit, because if you don't have a budget and if you're buying like a lot of gear that is cheap, so for example if you're getting a sleeping bag from Decathlon or Canadian Tire or Walmart, you will not be able to fit it in smaller backpacks because you just won't have enough space. If you don't expect it to rain, then carrying a cheap rain poncho might be a better idea than carrying a rain jacket, because you are anyway not expecting rain and you can save a lot of weight. So you can buy like a rain poncho from Dollarama and that should be okay to give you some peace of mind. A 0-degree sleeping bag will last you for almost all seasons except extreme winter hiking. And you can layer it with wearing like a base layer if you feel a lot colder. And then when you're actually hiking, instead of carrying like heavy jackets, you can like use a layering system for your hikes as well. So you can carry a base layer, a fleece, a down jacket, and then you can use a windbreaker on top. Instead of buying expensive stove like Jetboil or MSR Pocket Rocket, you can get BRS 3000T from Amazon for about 30 bucks, and that is extremely lightweight, and that is a stove that a lot of through backpackers use, so the ones who actually go on hikes for like 6 months or longer. And it's extremely lightweight, so that is like a cheaper option rather than carrying a big Jetboil and spending like 100 bucks on it. You also don't need to carry a lot of big pots if you're doing like a backpacking hike. All you need is like one 750 ml pot, and you can use it for cooking your breakfast, lunch, dinner, and you can also use it to have your morning coffee. For preparing breakfast, what I have also found is a lot of people prepare like for example oatmeal and nuts and whey protein, and have like a separate Ziplocs prepared. So all you need to do is you can boil the water and you can pour the hot water in your Ziploc, or you can boil like the oatmeal inside the pot and you can have it. Another thing is to increase the calorie intake. So if you'll be backpacking for like longer trails, what you can do is you can consume olive oil, because it will take like less weight and give a lot more calories. Titanium mugs are way more lightweight than stainless steel mugs, but they're also more expensive, so it's going to depend on your budget. For meals, like you can always carry ready to eat meals. If you're Indian, I found like MTR has like really good Indian ready to eat meals, and you can complement those meals with instant rice, or you can carry like a loaf of bread if you're only gone for like 1-2 days. So that'll be kind of like lightweight, and you can get like solid carbs without really making a mess. Another tip that I have found is that I'll be testing. Basically, if you can prepare your meal in a Ziploc, then a lot of people pour boiling water in the Ziploc and then they kind of like chew like a hole in one end of the Ziploc, and they just like suck the contents directly through it once the water has gotten a bit less hot. So you don't make a mess, you don't have to like clean your boiling pot, and you can basically just throw the Ziploc once you have eaten the contents. You can just throw the Ziploc in the trash bag that you have. So this way you don't make like any mess. If your tent or your mattress or any of your camping gear gets a tear and you have to repair it, instead of carrying like the whole tape, you can like get a duct tape and then you can wrap a portion of it on one of your trekking poles and just carry that. So worst case scenario, if you end up having to use it, you'll have just a little bit of tape already in your trekking pole and you can use that. So that will also like help make your backpack a bit lightweight. I'm sorry I have sun in my background, but I promise you I'll share a lot of good tips. Same thing goes for any tape that you carry for blisters. Instead of carrying like a whole roll of leukotape, what you can do is you can cut portions of it and you can paste it on a baking paper and then you can carry that baking sheet. Another thing somebody recommended was to, like, for example, not carry 2 headlamps, 2 tent lights and everything. So if you can have one thing that can serve multiple purposes, don't carry extra stuff because that will increase the weight. A lot of times we think, oh, what if this headlamp runs out of battery? Well, you charge it beforehand and most likely it won't. So don't stress too much and carry double of everything, you know. Before you start packing your stuff in the backpack, always line up a trash bag as a backpack liner so your stuff will not get wet. As for all the other small things that you will be putting inside the backpack, instead of having a lot of different pouches for small things, just put all the small things in one Ziploc and then use a bigger Ziploc to have all your food in it, and then carry one more empty trash bag to put all the trash in. So this will help you reduce weight, because if you use a lot of small travel pouches, even they will slowly increase the weight. So the less pouches you carry, the better. I'll also not be carrying like a hydration system or the fancy water bottles that I'll have. I've actually bought one 1-liter water bottle from 7-Eleven, the cheap ones, because they are extremely lightweight, and I know I won't need more than 1 liter water to get to Taylor Meadows, so that should be more than enough. And it'll be extremely lightweight once I drink that water. And then once I'm at the campground, I can go to the creek and fill the water. And again, I will not be using or needing more than 1 liter of water bottle to go to Panorama Ridge and come back. So that is kind of like my plan. But really, like, after watching all these different YouTubers, you know, like Jupiter Hikes and a lot of other YouTubers, the theme that I'm seeing is a lot of people, they kind of panic and they pack and carry a lot of stuff. But you should really like try and reduce as much weight as you can, even if you're like backpacking for the first time, because most likely nothing will go wrong. And if you prepare things in a way that you kind of feel confident with the stuff that you've collected, I think it should be more than enough. If you snore, or if you're going with somebody who snores, then carrying earplugs is also something that might help you. Another tip I found was, like, for example, this hat that I have, it's quite heavy. So some of the backpackers recommended buying like lightweight hats from Decathlon or online from Amazon, because that will make you feel a little bit lighter and feel less weight on your head, and that will also help you. Also, since it's June and a lot of snow is still kind of melting, so there will be a lot of bugs, and what I plan to do for that is I've bought like a bug net from Dollarama, but you can also get it for like $1 or $2 from Amazon. And that is kind of like my plan, to have like a bug net that I'll wear during the time that I'm camping or when I'm hiking if there's like a lot of bugs, because bug spray honestly doesn't do a lot in my opinion. Even if you spray it, like I don't know honestly if it works. And every time I have wore a bug net, I have felt like so much relieved and less frustrated with all the bugs constantly, like, you know, just trying to come close to you, and you're constantly feeling that buzzing sound. So you're gonna feel a lot better if you invest in like a cheap bug net. A lot of people have also mentioned that they don't carry dishwashing soap. What they oftentimes do is they just boil the water in the pot and they put the boiled water in the Ziplocs, so they don't make a mess that they have to actually wash. And if you end up cooking in a pot, then a lot of people just use dirt, like soil, to kind of use as an abrasive tool and then add more water to clean the mug. So that is something that you can do. And when you're brushing your teeth, to make sure that you follow leave no trace guideline, instead of spitting the water in one spot, just do like this whale thing wherein, you know, you just like explode all the water in the air to take as much area as possible, so that it's not dropping at one spot and it's like not really concentrated. So that will help minimize the environmental impact. For toilet paper, like you don't have to carry the whole roll. You can just take out a portion of it, kind of roll it and put it in a Ziploc, like the same Ziploc in which you'll be putting all these small items. So you can put it in that as well. So that'll help you like save a lot of weight. The only recurring theme that I keep seeing is how you can make everything that you're carrying as lightweight as possible, so you can actually enjoy your time hiking without feeling like you're carrying a lot of weight. Another thing is, like, a lot of times people end up hanging a lot of the heavy gear at the bottom of the backpack, and what that ends up doing is it just pushes like so much pressure at the bottom of your backpack that it kind of messes up with your center of gravity, and you will get like a lot of backache. So when you put all your stuff in the backpack, make sure the heavier stuff is closer to your back and it's not towards the bottom. And same thing goes for like hanging or dangling like random things towards the back. So for example, if you have like Crocs like hanging behind, or if you have like a down jacket or something hanging at the back, every time you push forward when it's dangling, it's actually like pushing you back. So another way to do it is to actually hang it in the front. So for example, you can just hang it like around here with a strap, or like put some of the heavier stuff in the fanny pack and keep it at the front to have like a balanced center of gravity. Also carry Imodium and ibuprofen, because you never know if you're gonna get a headache or fever or an upset stomach. So definitely carry that in a small Ziploc. Don't carry like the whole container. Just carry like 2-3 for worst case scenario, right? And another tip is to actually carry like a bandana, and you can tie it around your neck. So for example, if it's like really cold, you can just cover your nose with it. You can also use it like as a replacement to wet wipe. So if you're sweating, you can just like wet it a little bit and you can wipe your face with it. You can spread it at the entrance of your tent. So if you have to like kind of like keep your bare foot instead of keeping it on the soil, you can keep it there. You can also just kind of wash it anytime and keep hanging at the back of your backpack so that it always gets dry with the air. So you can really use it like in a variety of ways, and it doesn't even like carry a lot of weight. So it can be like an addition to your microfiber towel. So definitely consider buying one of the bandanas. The water filtration system that everybody keeps recommending is like Sawyer Mini. So that costs around like 40-ish bucks, and you can screw it on top of like any cheap bottle that you get from 7-Eleven, and that water is also lightweight, so it makes it really easy for you to filter your water, and it has lifetime kind of capacity, so it has like so many thousands of gallons that once you buy it once, you can use it all your life. But if you're only going for 1-2 days, and if you're going to a place wherein like the water is not that contaminated, then you can also just carry aqua tabs. So those are small tablets that you can add once you boil the water, so that should be like good enough. Going to Taylor Meadows, I think aqua tabs will be more than enough, so I won't be carrying like an extra water filter. But that is the one that most people recommend. And then what they also do is they attach the filter to one of the bottles, and then they attach another bottle to the other side of the filter, and they kind of squeeze, and that's how they filter the water, just using two cheap water bottles. So yeah, that is all. I've also listed all the items that I'll be carrying and all the tips and tricks that I've found in all the other YouTube videos and the Reddit forums, because honestly I know like not everyone has enough time to research, and that is something that demotivates a lot of people from going on backpacking trips or longer hiking trips. So because I consider myself as a very nerdy person, and I have spent like a great deal of time just spending like 2 weekends to just watch all this content and kind of distill it, so I'll post everything in the description, and hopefully that should help you get to the speed to 90% of like the backpacking beginner knowledge, I guess. So yeah, just go through it, and feel free to subscribe, because I'm also figuring things out as I go, but I would appreciate if you can subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.